You check your phone. No new messages. You check it again 10 minutes later. Still nothing. A small, sharp feeling rises in your chest, and it is not really about the phone at all. It feels almost like fear, but it is not fear of dying. It is something older and far stranger. For most of human history, there was something people feared more than death itself: being forgotten, being left out, being cast aside by the group. That sounds dramatic for something as small as an unanswered text. But your brain does not know the difference between a text and a tribe. It still runs on rules written 200,000 years ago. Back then, exclusion did not feel uncomfortable. It was a death sentence. Picture an early human alone on the savannah. No spear thrower beside her, no one to share the night watch, no one to help carry water across dry land. She is fast, but a lion is faster. She is smart, but a pack of hyenas does not care. Alone, she has maybe a season before something kills her. With a group, she might live for decades. This is the environment your brain was built in. Not an office. Not a city. A world where the group was the only thing standing between you and the dark. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar studied this exact pressure. He found that the size of a primate social group correlates closely with the size of its brain, specifically the neocortex, the wrinkled outer layer responsible for complex thought. Bigger groups need more mental bandwidth. You have to remember who owes who a favor, who you can trust, who might betray you. Dunbar calculated that humans can maintain meaningful relationships with around 150 people. Not because we are not generous, because that is the ceiling our ancestors' survival math could support. Belonging was not a feeling. It was infrastructure. So when that infrastructure cracked, the body responded the way it responds to actual danger. Psychologist Naomi Eisenberger ran a now-famous study. She had participants play a virtual ball-tossing game while inside an MRI scanner. At first, the game included them. Then, slowly, the other digital players started excluding them, tossing the ball back and forth, without including the human player at all. It was meaningless. Pixels on a screen. No real stakes. But the brain did not get the memo. The same region that lights up during physical pain, the anterior cingulate cortex, activated during social exclusion. Being left out did not just feel bad. It registered, neurologically, the same way a burn or a cut would. Why would evolution build us this way? Why does rejection feel like injury? Because pain is information. Pain tells you something is wrong, and you need to fix it immediately. Physical pain says, stop touching the fire. Social pain says, fix this relationship before it costs you your life. For nearly all of human history, this system worked perfectly. If you upset the group, you felt it instantly, and you repaired it fast, because waiting meant exile, and exile meant death. Now think about your last group chat. The one where someone said something, and the room went quiet. Or the meeting where your idea got skipped over without comment. That tight feeling in your stomach is not irrational. It is ancient. It is the same circuitry that once meant the difference between a body that eats tonight and a body that does not. There is a darker side to this too. Ostracism does not just hurt, it changes behavior. Psychologist Kipling Williams spent decades studying ostracism and found something unsettling. People who are excluded do not always become gentler or more eager to please. Often, they become more aggressive. Some become more vulnerable to extreme groups, because any group, even a harmful one, can satisfy the ancient hunger to belong. This is why cults do not usually recruit the strong and well-connected. They recruit the isolated, the freshly divorced, the recently fired, the lonely. Not because lonely people are foolish, but because the brain, starved of belonging, will accept almost any offer of it. Your ancestors did not have therapists or self-help books. They had something simpler and, in some ways, more effective: constant, physical, daily proximity to other humans. You ate beside people. You slept beside people. You worked beside people from sunrise to dusk. Belonging was not something you had to seek out. It was the default condition of being alive. Today, that default has flipped. You can go an entire day, technically surrounded by thousands of people in a city of millions, and speak to almost no one. Anthropologist and psychologist John Cacioppo spent his career researching loneliness and found that chronic loneliness raises mortality risk by a margin comparable to smoking or obesity. Not metaphorically, numerically. Your brain still treats disconnection as a survival-level threat, even though the saber-toothed cats are gone. So when you feel that flicker of anxiety checking to see if someone replied, you are not being weak or oversensitive. You are running ancient software on modern hardware, and the software has not been updated in 200,000 years. There is something almost comforting in that. The feeling is not a flaw in you. It is evidence that you are, underneath all the noise of modern life, still deeply human, still wired for connection, still built for tribe. Which raises an uncomfortable question. If belonging once meant survival, what does it mean that so many people today report feeling more isolated than ever, despite being more digitally connected than any generation in history? Maybe the issue is not that we have lost our need for tribe. Maybe it is that we have replaced the tribe with its echo. Likes instead of eye contact. Notifications instead of presence. Followers instead of people who would notice if you went quiet for too long. Ancient humans feared exile more than death, because exile usually led to death anyway, just slower and more painfully. You may never face that specific danger. No one is going to leave you outside the cave wall tonight, but the part of your brain built by that fear is still in there, still scanning every room you walk into, still counting who looked at you and who didn't, still keeping score on a game that, for thousands of generations, was the only game that mattered. So the next time you feel that small sting from being left out of something small, a group chat, a plan, a passing comment, do not brush it off as irrational. It is not irrational. It is ancestral. You check your phone one more time, still nothing. But now you understand the feeling for what it really is, not weakness, not vanity. Just an old, patient piece of your brain, still asking the only question it has ever known how to ask. Am I still one of the tribe? If this changed the way you see your own quiet moments, your group chats, your notifications, subscribe. There's more ancient wiring hiding underneath your modern life, and you're going to want to see what else is in there.